Tuesday morning. It's a bit cooler today. Been going about an hour, I suppose. Filled up with water, which took about half an hour because the tap were really slow and we haven't filled up for about 4 days. But the surprising thing today is lack of traffic. I think we've passed 2 boats, not sure. Might be 3, might be 1, don't know. Not many anyway. Definitely past 1 because they was having a few problems, shall we say, in learning their left from their right. Anyway, you expect that. I started musing that it should be possible to predict with quite reasonable accuracy what the next hire boat company will be. And I thought that would make it a really nice little summer school challenge for new students on the PhD stream, because you could deploy various methodologies. So I might pitch that to some of the universities, I don't know yet, or I might just give the idea out for free. How about that? So you go hook up somewhere on a boat maybe, and then you have a day in order to formulate your research and gather the information what you does need. And that information could be, where are you, what hire companies are in the cruising vicinity of where you is, how many they have in their fleet, what are the demographics of their customer base, time of year, what day it is, because that is influenced by when the hire companies do their handover, the age of sorry, I mentioned that, didn't I? It's part of the demographics. How popular that bit of waterway is, what percentage of boats hired from that particular hire base will do that particular piece of waterway. Now in somewhere like Trevor, some of them will head out of Trevor and go straight down, upstream into Llangollen. Others will go downstream, where we are now, down towards Ellesmere. What hire companies, the proportion of hire companies in that particular area is going to be here predominantly Black, Prince and Anglo Welsh, although I think there's about 12 to 15 different hire companies in this area. So all of those factors should be able to narrow down within reasonable accuracy the ability to predict the next company on that hire boat. You could, if you so desired, also want to try and predict the proportion of hire boats to private owned boats. And if you really wanted to be clever, you could predict with reasonable accuracy the number of illegally hired boats. Marking that obviously would not be necessarily based upon outcome. It would also be based upon methodology. And the crazier the methodology, the better sometimes. Obviously the measure is going to be the outcome. But sometimes the route to get there is just as important. And what I've always said to people is document your failures as well as your successes. So a stupid idea could be enough to win, even if it's a completely bonkersly daft idea, because it might be something that no one else has thought of because it's so stupid. And and documenting that would stop somebody else repeating it in the future. So I reckon anyway, the next, and this is just a sort of like plucked out of the air, I think the next hire boat we come across will be an Anglo-Welsh. And if you check the time lapse that I'm doing at the front, you'll be able to tell whether or not I is correct in that. There's no methodology gone into that whatsoever. It's purely gut feeling, and if it turns out right, then the whole the whole proposal's screwed. But if some university wants to buy into that, that'd be brilliant. I also have a sort of working out how likely it is to meet another boat at a bridge or on a bend or where there's other moored boats, or all three or permutations thereof. I'm going to stop now before I embarrass myself with these silly research proposals. I was wrong. It was a crest. But the next Anglo-Welsh we did come across doesn't really know what they're doing either. So if they did know what they were doing, they might have been in front of the crest. Oh my god. At least they're trying. One thing I did notice was on that large sort of like oxbow bend back there, there was someone with his nice little, you know, shiny puff puff puff. What the fuck? Go on, you can do it, guys. On the bend, didn't want to give any space, so I gave him a look as if to say, I don't mind smacking into you, you fucker. If you don't want to pull over, that's your problem. And then he suddenly decided that he was going to turn. That's I just don't, yeah, the arrogance of some people is it's just incredible. At least the hirers have a little bit of courtesy sometimes, but a lot of the owners, especially, and I like the idea, you know, in their shinies, you know, not a scratch on the paint, and you know, everything polished, all their brass polished, is when they've got this air of superiority. I actually quite like giving them that feel that I might take a lot of their paint off if they don't move out of the way. And sort of like staying in the middle is arrogant as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so the first boat was a crest, which I'm not sure where they hire out of. I think it might be Chirk. So today's Tuesday, they might be giving it back on Thursday, which makes sense. If Chirk do some turns on Thursday, most hire boat companies will stagger their turns throughout the week, so they're not doing all of their however many boats, 14, 16 odd boats on one day. So if they got 14 boats, generally I think they'll try and turn a couple a day, that way they can clean them properly. Well, clean them anyway. Clean them and change the bedding. Yeah. One of the things we always used to do when we hired a boat, rinse the kettle out and boil it 3 or 4 times before drinking anything that comes out of it. Wash all the cutlery, crockery, check the bedding, check the towel. Actually, did we? No, I think we always took our own towels. But all of those sort of things, you know, double wash the glasses, all of that sort of thing. Because I don't particularly trust the diligence of the cleaners at the hire company. I know that sounds awful. Doesn't that sound awful? It looks like they got through the bridge anyway. There doesn't seem to be any. Yeah, but same as hotels. When I go to a hotel, you know, I will never drink out of the glasses that they've got in there until I've given them a good wash. I would never use a hotel kettle until I've boiled it about 4 or 5 times. Because I just know what some human people are like. Enough. Onward toward Whittington and beyond. We got some locks today and it's not raining, so it should be nicer to do the locks in the non-rain. I haven't checked if the time lapse is still going. Should have done that really. We have just pulled over and saved another boater's life. Well, we haven't saved their life as such. Made it a bit easier. They were sort of like stranded a bit, not being able to manoeuvre. And I said, you might have something on the prop. Well, they've never had the weed hatch open. So we showed them how to open the weed hatch. And they pulled a coat and a shirt and old bits of wardrobe out of there. And then showed him how to seal the weed hatch and check it. And there you go, another family who are happy bunnies. I couldn't work out whether it's a hire boat or not. It looked like one of the Bond series. Is it Anglo-Welsh? You know, that sort of colour. It's either that or they've bought an ex-hire boat anyway. But even if they were hirers, they should have been taught how to check the weed hatch. It is one of the fundamental things that you will need to do in terms of general boat maintenance on a very regular basis. But anyway, they're all happy. Good. We're happy. It's not raining. So I think we will be in. Oh, actually, do you know what? I've just said it ain't raining. But I think I just felt a tiny little drop of rain. The next clip in this video could be a damp one. There's a big one. Oh, so it's lunchtime. We're having lunch on the move, so we don't want to go too fast down here and spoil the view. But we've got to be in Middlewich. Is it tomorrow night? It can't be. That's impossible. That's impossible. What day is it today? Sally Thompson. Robin's Nest. Anybody? Sally Tom? No. Okay. How did Sally Thompson come out earlier? There's something else. She was in something or other. I don't know. I don't know where all that started. TV. Sorry. Anyway, yes, we need to be. What day is it today? I think it's Tuesday. So there's no way we're going to be in Middlewich tomorrow. I think it's Thursday we must need to be in Middlewich. Isn't that strange how ont cut, as it were, ont cut, just time fizzles away. Blah, 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 blah. Sure, it's Tuesday. Might have to have a look in a minute. I'm almost certain it's Tuesday, and that there's a fair degree of certainty, therefore, that tomorrow's Wednesday. Is that right, Marley? We don't know, do we? And I'm thinking, so yeah, it will be, oh crikey, no, today we won't do it. We won't do the Middlewich Arm in one day from the bottom of here. Although we might. I don't know, Thursday, I'm saying Thursday we'll be in Middlewich. What a nonsense. I don't really suppose it needs to be too structurally sound. It's only supporting a fuck off great big bridge. Bridge 39 on the Llangollen arm of the Shropshire Union Canal. Fucking hell, is that rough or what? Yeah. Now, this is interesting in that if I don't smack into these boats, usually cruising around you see far more beer kegs dumped into canal. I think I've mentioned this before. The reason for that is a lot of tied pubs where the landlord has to buy his beer from the brewery, very often will go to a cash and carry and purchase a keg or two and sell that, and it doesn't go to the brewery, it goes straight in their pocket. And then of course they have to dispose of the evidence. So stupidly, rather than just taking the empty back to the cash and carry, they throw it in the canal. And last year and a bit, obviously because of COVID, pubs haven't been so busy, so there haven't been as many beer kegs thrown into canal. The other thing is, in general, beer kegs remain the property of the brewery, even if dumped in a field or whatever. The only caveat to that is if anything, beer keg, whatever, beer keg, car, child, anything dumped into, are they going to leave the bridge open for me or not bother? I don't think they're going to bother. Anyway, anything dumped into a waterway navigable by seagoing vessels is classed as a navigation hazard, and consequently anything taken out of it is then salvage of the particular. This is going to get messy. I think I'm just going to let this yoghurt pot get past. Well, coming up to that bridge, I thought I'd just check the GoPro, and sure enough, it had fucking turned itself off. Now here's an interesting thing. This, look at that genset, and it's got like a tug pushing it. I saw it down by one of the locks when we came back last time. This is handy. That's good, a working boat. So I haven't quite worked that one out. It looks like one of Jonathan Wilson's that he decided to do a few years ago. Oh, you bastard. I fucking hate that. Still, quite nice to meet Waterways royalty, even if it's on a fucking bend with trees overgrown. Fuck's sake. And now my rudder. He's going to hit that bend just as that other boat's coming round. Oh well, you know, such is life, isn't it? Nice though, these working boats. Impractical, but nice. I suppose it's the only way to get your diesel and gas. Well, this is nicer. Not watching Charlotte do the work. That's always nice. But when we came up through it was abysmal. Truly grim. And although today's been overcast, it hasn't been terribly cold. And as we come out of this lock, there's some really nice couple of buildings. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to go and help Charlotte open these paddles. Oh, tea! I've discovered naturally roaming tea. Now, look at this for a treat then. It really was chucking it down with rain when we first came up. Ah, oh, God, it was abysmal. But how much nicer does it feel now it's not chucking it down with rain? Look at this place here, they got their own little rudder in there as well. There you go. I want my own little rudder outside the boathouse. Someone's going to have to build one of those for me. Probably out of pallet wood. And a strange little shack with a shop. This is a bugger of a bend, so I'm going to stop filming and just leave you with that little view there. Oh, I've actually managed to get round without contact. Well, there we are. So this is, yeah, probably going to be part of our last stretch, I should imagine. I've just seen a review for a pretty good pub. Well, it said it's a basic pub, but it does lovely grub. Basic pub with lovely grub. Lovely jubbly, that suits me. It hasn't been as long a day as I thought it was going to be in terms of dodging hire boats. Where are you going? What are you doing? Go on then, piss off. In fact, hire boat wise, I think we've been very lucky today. And that, I don't want that to sound wrong. I don't want that to sound, you know, negative against hirers, but you know, sometimes it can be what's the term? A little challenging. Well, it's 6 o'clock and we are back where we moored 5-6 days ago. I can't remember. It will be in the cruising log, but we're going to push on a little bit further. So we went from here, or probably not far away from where that boat is, a little bit further up there, to Ellesmere in a day. Coming back, we will get a titchy bit further, probably only about another mile and a bit further, to where we're going to find this pub. And that means I need to look at the cruising log and see, because I need to work out a place to meet Andy to take possession of this bag of extra pale malt that we're calling Barry, that we're taking back to Sheffield. Ooh. I better go and have a look at the cruising log. It's always nice to have odd little bits which are different, and that's definitely different. Is it me, or does that caravan look a little bit... That's probably me, isn't it? No, it's not me. There's something very odd about that caravan. Yeah, it's fucked. It's gotta be. Oh dear. What a very strange little mooring that was. Whew, we're still going, boys and girls. 6:30. I don't think we've got a huge distance to go now. I don't think there's any more locks. Chris, I'm fairly sure there isn't, today anyway. I think we've got this lift bridge, and then there's another bridge, lift bridge, where we're going to moor. Whoa! Yeah, it's one of those sort of like accidentally long days again, but it's been nice, hasn't been raining, and we'll hopefully get past Middlewich on Thursday, bang on, as much as possible, up towards, I don't know, probably Anderton. That'd be good. That's seen better days, mind you, so have I. We have arrived at Wrenbury, and something I've just noticed about that, this is an old corrugated iron. That building is made of corrugated iron. How sweet is that? Historically, lots of buildings would be. There's one we went to in Wales a long time ago, not by boat. We went in a Land Rover for a little long weekend away, and we went to a restaurant which was made of corrugated iron. It used to be like, you know, a very, very popular building material. Right, more up and go and get something to eat and drink. These are our neighbours for the night. Hello. Oh, that was a lovely day. A beautiful little run down from Ellesmere. And rather sadly, this is our last night on the Llangollen Canal, or the Llangollen arm of the Shropshire Union Canal. It's our last night. What an absolute joy it has been. It really has. Beautiful. Truly beautiful. And I'm so glad we decided to do it in our little Mustn't Grumble. She has really enjoyed it. And even in some of those kind of difficulty bits, shallowy bits and narrowy bits, God, she just handles so well. It's stunning. I suppose she handles well because I know how to handle her now, but I mean, this boat's always been beautifully manoeuvrable. It's got a really long swim and it's just lovely. Yeah, she's like a beautiful pair of old slippers. Right, so that's it for today, boys and girls. I hope you've not been too bored. I'm still making these videos, really, I think, as just something different from daytime television. I hope it hasn't been too monotonous, me droning on time and time again. This time tomorrow, we may have a bag of malt on board. Now, that's exciting. But for now, you know the score. Whatever you're doing, do it safely. And cheers.